why I have to do this. Why are you laughing?
Because you finally understand.
How did you get the audition and what were callbacks like?
Um, it was a very long process.
Mhm.
I mean, it was there were always additional scenes that they were handing out to me, and like other chemistry reads, they were like, okay, do these exercises, show us how you can like fight with the staff. And initially I had auditioned for Mo.
Oh,
Um
okay.
yeah. So then on the last day they were like, we love you, but you didn't get Mo, and I was devastated. I kept thinking during those few days, I was like, what did I do wrong? What happened? Um, but then, a few weeks later, they were like, hey, do you wanna audition for Tracy? And I was so excited. And I was like, I am gonna nail this audition, and they will not turn me down because I'm gonna do amazing. And it worked, but of course. But actually, while filming, they told me like, you actually didn't know it, but on the day that you didn't book Mo, you booked Tracy.
Oh, get out.
I know, it was so cool.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, this business is really hard. It's like 99% rejection. Don't feel bad. Hey, you got something better.
I just, my life just shut down over those few weeks. So I was like, I put so much work into it.
I know exactly what that's like. It's like you have a big audition and you want it so bad and like, because you go audition to audition to audition, so you think, okay, I didn't get this one next. And then you have that one that you set your soul and your heart on and you just shut down for like a week.
Mhm.
I know what that's like. Don't feel bad. But see, you got something, you got a very memorable role actually, and you're the last kid now.
I feel like Tracy just suits me much better.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Have you seen Fear the Walking Dead before you got the role?
Um, I actually did not, because my parents, they didn't let me watch it. Not because of like the scary stuff. Because I love horror movies. It's because I think there was adult content in it. But
Yes.
after I did get the role, I did, watch a few seasons, just to get the vibe, and the feel of the show.
Right, right, right. That's smart. What was your first day on set like? It must have been magical.
Oh, ah, okay. So we only had one scene, which was, before all of the craziness,
Hmm.
everything was like, ah! Um, I remember after filming that scene, I didn't get to meet much of the cast, but I met the crew, and it meeting everyone, they were so nice and so special to me, and I will never forget them. But I remember later after filming the scene, Mr. Coleman and then told me like, "Girl, you're amazing," and I, it was my motivation, to
Right,
just keep
right.
on.
Exactly. What was the first scene you shot?
It was the introduction on episode 9
Okay.
to Tracy.
Very awesome. How far back did the scene take place where you first meet Strand? Tracy seemed terrified, bug-eyed and all, and it looked like you were about 6 years old. Was it a flashback? I mean, your outfit was entirely different as well.
Okay, so I'm glad that you asked me this question, because a lot of people have been wondering. I had actually done, how acting is like, you do like um 20 different takes. So I
Yep.
after I did about like 20 different versions of the scene, 10, 20 different versions. Um, on the last one, the director, he just wanted like, a fun one. He was like, all right, so this time can you do a little more big-eyed, like bug-eyed look? Because like he told me like, apparently like, who Strand is because your dad had told you
Right.
about him. So I did that, and then I guess that's the scene they picked. And everyone was like saying like, "Oh, she's like this like big eye." I actually do have like naturally like pretty like doe eyes, so I
Right,
guess
right.
right after this, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah, I noticed
Um,
that.
but I mean that's just what the director told me to do, and I
Right,
mean
right.
I think it makes sense. But I do also admit that I looked a little scary.
You look terrified, yeah.
A lot of people have told me that I look younger on camera, so I guess I'll take that as a compliment.
Know when that took place though? Was that more of like was that a couple days after she ran away from the truck? That particular scene where she meets Strand?
Um, when she meets Strand, Strand had kidnapped her. So basically, she ran away from the truck,
Right,
and then a few days later, Strand had found her and he had kidnapped her
right.
and taken it in. So I guess it would have been a few days later.
Seen a running truck before and she was terrified of the walkers except for her mother, who was among the dead.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, knowing Troy after watching those episodes, he's definitely a little crazy, but that's what I like about him because there's not you don't find a character like that every day,
No.
which what I think makes him memorable. So I think that I mean Tracy definitely changed him. So I mean the whole reason he wanted to take over Padre was for Tracy to have safe safe space to grow up in.
Right.
So I believe that I mean he would have trained her in self defense,
Mhm.
but I think only as she grew older, which on the character breakdown of Tracy, it said that she was about 11 years old, but I think they changed it to 10. Um, so I think like as she got older, he would have been like, all right, you know what? It's time for your self defense training. We saw that Tracy said that she has been trained by in field medicine by Troy.
Yep.
So I just imagined that she would have been trained in some sort of self defense, but
Right.
after she would have been kidnapped, I imagine her training was cut short, which is
Oh, for
why
sure.
she wasn't definitely confident, as you can see in the scene where she climbed out of the log and she
Yes.
was killing the zombies.
What do you think her goal was to kill Madison? I mean, she aimed right for the heart. But usually in that type of I know she's a child, so it would obviously not be sensible for a child to know, but double tap.
There was a scene in the car with Tracy and Troy, and Tracy even asked Troy, like, do we have to kill Madison? Because, I mean, she was really confused. She didn't know what to think because Troy kept putting it in her mind that, like, we have to kill Madison. We have to kill Madison because she did all these horrible things to us.
Right.
But I guess after Tracy, really got to know her, she was like, I don't know what to think anymore. She seems nice. Troy makes, like, my dad makes her seem mean, but she is sort of nice. So I don't know what to think. I guess that's what she might have thought. So, I mean, she was feeling a lot of things, and it all happened so fast. She just saw the gun. She thought about what her father would say if
Right.
she didn't take that opportunity. So, I guess she would have just done whatever she had to do to make her father happy because, I mean, she definitely cares about her father a lot
Oh,
ever
yes.
since her mother died.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It seems like Alicia cut off her arm, but she didn't immediately, succumb to her. She was shot or whatever. So I'm wondering, was maybe Tracy about 3 or 4 when she passed, or because she seemed to really recognize her even as a walker.
Um, I think that I think she might have been like maybe a year old or maybe a year and a half because of the way that Troy said that like Serena was only around for a little bit of her growing up. Um, but I do think like that Troy had been like, "This is your mother," or like shown photos, like, "All right, this is your mother,"
Right.
and I mean, by the way that Madison could tell that her mother wasn't Alicia, I think that there might be still a little way of telling who is who
Right.
because
Right.
you can maybe still identify the facial features and the hair. In my opinion, my headcanon.
What would Tracy think if she really knew everything that Troy did? He did some seriously bad, violent things that obviously stemmed from his traumatic childhood. His parents were awful. And, also, of course, he named Tracy after his mother, who was, very an addict and all sorts of things.
I I don't think that she would have entirely condoned what he did,
Right.
because I mean she already acted just so shocked and betrayed when he told her that he had lied. And just to know that there's way more that he hasn't been telling her, I mean, she would also be just like, have I been lied to my whole life? Is everything that he told me, everything that I grew up believing, not true? Which I definitely think would also lead to her, questioning everything that he's ever told her.
When they were in the truck right before the crash, she's like, do we really need to be doing this? Because, with Troy, you wonder if she's had some of his darkness, in her, or
Mhm.
if she truly is, innocent, even under his care, because she's so sheltered. But at the same time, she goes to shoot Madison and she's killing the walkers and she's sassing Strand. So, you have to wonder, is there a little bit of Troy in her?
Oh yeah, I think being raised by Troy. I mean, she has that sarcasm, she
Right.
has that sassiness, that attitude. Uh,
What's it to ya?
yeah, but I mean, she's definitely like a little mini Troy.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, everybody's putting these different things in her head.
Right.
Everybody's telling her a different story. She sort of has to um rely on herself
Right.
only.
Right, right. Yeah, she has all these different people that are coming to her and she's only really known, her dad and Russell. I'm assuming that's like her uncle Russell, right?
It was his right hand man.
Right, but does she consider him maybe her uncle?
I guess since she didn't I don't think she got to properly know her actual uncle, Jake.
Right. Jake, yes. Right, right. But it seemed like Russell was becoming like Troy's best friend and he really cared about Tracy as well. That's why I'm wondering
Yeah.
if it sort of like a,
And Troy
familiar
really trusted him. He even
yes,
said like, take care of
with
Tracy,
Tracy.
find her.
Right, right.
And he tried to keep that promise.
Yes, yes, he did. And they did
Didn't
not.
end didn't end very well.
No, I didn't. Did you study Daniel Sharman's mannerisms or, his dialogue aside from literally being his twin in child form? You really seem to mirror a lot of Troy, everything from, when she leans back on her feet in a stance to, her sarcastic quips.
Yeah, I watched, a few episodes. I really like to study my characters, really get into the character, know what I'm getting myself into, and just, yeah. So a few things here and there, I was like, you know what, that just thinks like it reminds me of Tracy.
Right.
So then I just be like, all right, this is who Tracy is. I mean, she's this sassy, like she has an attitude. She's definitely a little mini Troy, but I mean, after spending time with Felicia, um, I think that she's definitely gonna like start helping people, because how Serena was like Alicia helped Serena, so she'd be like, "Hey, I want to do what my mom always wanted to do."
Right, right.
But I mean, she's never gonna lose that.
And Bear Strand in front of Madison. I mean, that was
Ooh.
that was pretty funny. It's like, well, it seems like I'm lying a little bit.
Oh, okay. That was a very fun scene. I think it was raining out when we did film that scene,
Oh
so they,
wow.
they had to put up this like tent around us, and especially when watching that episode, I was like, whoa, doesn't even look like it's raining. Doesn't even look like anything's wet.
Right.
But anyways, she has that sassiness. I mean, after getting used to Strand, I mean, she knows that Strand wouldn't do anything to harm her,
Right.
because she needs to be used as leverage.
Right.
So she knows that he wouldn't do anything to harm her, but I mean, she has her ways. I mean, she's Troy's kid, so she knows what she's getting herself into.
I mean, she jumps off a boat with her, hands tied and
Oh,
swims to
yeah.
shore. How does that even happen?
Oh, I know. I mean, I watched my stunt double do it, and I'm so grateful for her because it looked like she was being pulled from all sides, and she couldn't
Right.
swim at all. Oh,
What is your stunt double's name? Let's give her some credit.
oh yeah. I had quite a couple. Um, Trisha jumped off, and Molly and no, Molly jumped off, and I had Trisha to do like the other big stunts.
Hmm.
Yeah, they were amazing. They were both so amazing.
I know, right? It's better than
But
breaking your neck.
no, I just love them so much, and I appreciate everything that they do.
Oh, that's great. What do you think would happen if Troy lived? It might be safe to say, they should get out of there and find their own way because it seemed like you guys just weren't going to get along with Madison or Daniel, you
Ooh,
know.
I think that Tracy Tracy would have changed him. I mean, just having a kid already um did so much to Troy. So
Right.
I mean, I think if Tracy just kept telling him like, "Dad, this isn't right," he would just want to do anything for his daughter. So he'd make her happy, and I guess he'd go used to it. But you know, he's always gonna be a little crazy, which what I like about him.
That
Like I said, you'd never find a character like that,
makes sense. That's so true. I
and I
know,
love
right?
that.
Do you know how long Strand really knew Troy? I they didn't really touch up on this, but I'm wondering like as an actor, what was your estimation? Because he saw him for all but 10 seconds in season 3 and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I know Troy. Nobody knows Troy like me."
Um, I mean, I think that in the scene where um Tracy is like getting into the cell, you can see Strand preparing everything, and it seemed like he was listening to the walkie talking about Troy. So I think, I mean, he has lots of companions, so they would all be telling stories about Troy, like, "Oh, Troy did this to my family. Troy's planning on doing this to Padre," and he'd always be on the walkies, I guess, listening to everything everyone say things about him. And I guess he would have just studied him and been like, all right, he's probably gonna attack me soon. I guess I have to, and yeah, because I guess he had to know about him for Padre too.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that was definitely a big question that the fans wanted to know. They're like, but he only knew him for so long. So it's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a little off-screen time.
Right,
I
right.
mean, we did have like a what was it, like a 10-year time skip, 12-year?
Yeah, I think so. I think wasn't it 8? Because she's 8 now, so it must have been. I believe that's what Nick
Tracy's
Bernardone.
Tracy's 10.
Is she? Oh, well, if you look at there's an after segment after the episode where she first appears, and I believe it's Ian that says that she's 8.
I mean, she has like 10 different ages, so I on point.
Well, if you think she's 10, then she's 10. I think she's more of a 10-year-old. I don't know. Like my little cousin is 9 and I don't see him as precocious and everything as Tracy is. Like she's definitely like 10 or 11 if you think about it.
I mean, she has like a billion different ages from a billion different people. Uh, on the breakdown, it said that she was 11. Then I saw somewhere on like the official fear page that she was 10,
Right.
and then other people are saying no, she's this age. So you know what? I'll let you guys think what you want to think. Have your head cannons. Like I
Right.
said, lingo.
Exactly.
I have the lingo.
I know you kept the rubber glass from the crash scene and the director chair top. Did you get to keep any of the costumes or anything?
Um, I have this. I saw like ever since I put that jacket on, I loved it, and they said they might send it to me after the show's over. So
Oh, okay.
fingers crossed for that. But I also did get like, everyone, since it was the end, they were all always giving out these like stickers and these pins. I have this zombie pin, which I
Oh,
think is really,
sweet.
you know. I have this like hair and makeup sticker. I also made one of my own stickers. I made the little Fear the Walking Kids sticker. I made it. I did,
Oh.
yeah. It was really cool. You know, we gave them out to a few people. I think I even got a guitar pick.
Oh,
Some kid-
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
and I also
wild.
from the director, Mr. Michael Satrazemes,
Hmm.
I got like beach fold up chair
Oh, sweet.
that's a Fear the Walking Dead on it. It's so sweet.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you think Tracy has some musical ability?
I mean, I think she tries in her music. Um, I don't think she would be the best though, because you know, there's no singing lessons.
Right, right.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I think that Troy would have kept her really like sheltered, like
Yeah,
at at the hotel, and wouldn't
right,
really let her leave as much, which is why like she didn't know what the Tinker Truck looked like.
right,
So I guess in her meantime, you know, she really tries to do whatever.
right. Exactly. If things had gone a different way, do you think you would have wanted to play Tracy as a walker? Actually, a fan sent in that question. So
Oh,
that's, yeah, right. It's an interesting dynamic right there.
you know, I have so much what's the word? Respect. I have so much respect for, you know, the stunt doubles and the stunt walkers. And I mean, they also have to stay there like out in the sun for hours.
Yep,
And I mean, I think that Tracy, I mean, she's the last auto, you know? So I think she has to like I think she has to live a little longer, you know, keep the bloodline going. I'm not ready
exactly.
to autos leave yet.
I love you, Dad.